How you doing? My name's Kevin O'Hara, and today I want to talk about believing passionately in something. I want to start off with a quote from a guy called Nikos Kazantzakis. He was the person who was responsible for the book and the film Zorba the Greek. The film starred the great Anthony Quinn. The quote is, "To believe passionately in something that does not yet exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired." It's just a great quote for anyone who's looking for something to do after they've quit, is looking for that passion in their lives. If you take your alcohol journey as an example, being in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and all you see around you is sand. The sand dunes, flat sand, blowing sand. And regardless of what you're doing, you don't know which direction you can go in. You're hundreds and hundreds of miles from nowhere, but you haven't got a clue where you're going. And that's, for me, that's what quitting alcohol without a direction, without a passion, without something to aim towards, that's exactly what it's like to me. The goal that you choose has got to be specific, it's got to be concrete, it's got to be measurable so you know how far forward you get into it. It has to be visible inside your head, and it's got to be full of emotion. I think that's the key element. Drinking is never about the alcohol. The alcohol is just a means to an end. It's a tool to get you where you want to go. It's all about emotions. For me, the reasons why I drank were to hide away from guilty feelings, from to have something, big emotional wall to hide behind. Other reasons were to give myself some confidence when I was growing up, to give myself some self-esteem. You can dig and dig down into these things and you'll come up with your own solutions. It comes down to fear. It comes down to the real basic raw emotions. We've all got the emotional needs that we have to get satisfied before anything else happens. And everything that we do in life has got an underlying emotion attached to it. I mean, if you think about it, going out and buying a car, going and buying a stereo, going and buy whatever, the best car salesmen know that the way to get you to part with your money and to sign along the dotted line is not to tell you about all the features of the car, how fast it can go and the size of the engine, but to paint a picture with with passion behind it, with telling you exactly what you can get, the comfort of sliding down the road at 60 miles an hour and listening to your stereo. That's one of the big reasons why people take you out for that. The salesman will take you out for a test drive, is because he wants to get you emotionally involved with the vehicle. Once you've driven it, you're more than likely going to buy it. It's the same as selling a car. I recently sold a car, and it was very difficult because I had a lot of emotions tied up with this big chunk of metal. But that's just the way it works. When you're thinking about this thing that you want to do for the future, just try and put as much passion in it as you can. Put as much visual elements into it as you can. As much sounds, if you can do that. Put sounds into it. Put feelings into it. Put people that you know into it. Make a big picture. It's what people do. Anything that you see around you, any tangible good or service or anything that you see around you, was once just a mere thought in somebody's head. And that's all it takes, is for somebody to build on that vision inside their head before they can they can take out the first tool to make it, or sign the first contract to get it made, or, you know, it has to be inside the head. It has to develop. This type of visualization works for everything, you know, regardless of what you want to do. If you want to get a new job, if you want to study for a new career, if you want to build a business, if you want to make a product, whatever you want to do. But it also works for you yourself, building the new you. And that's basically what you have to do. You have to go from being this person who is going through this habit, this really bad habit of alcohol abuse, and drinking all the time and solving all your problems through alcohol, to not doing that anymore. And you have to see yourself in that position. You have to picture yourself, you know, picture yourself 25 pounds, 30 pounds lighter. Picture yourself buying new clothes and talking to people about your plans and your dreams and your ambitions. You know, all positive stuff. You really have to believe this. You've really got to get into it and put your feelings into it. You know, try and feel what it's like to be that person. You know, see yourself from all angles. Don't look out of your own eyes. You know, actually look down and see yourself. You know, see yourself in this position 6 months down the road. And if you don't believe it's possible, just go back and look at the first video that I did. I looked at it recently and I was completely shocked by the change. You know, look at this video and then go back and look at the #1 video I did, Stop Drinking Alcohol Week 1. It was the Thursday Tally #1. And you'll be shocked at the change. The reason why this is so important is because it works the opposite way around as well. If you believe that you cannot quit alcohol, if you say it to yourself and if you feel it, if you see yourself as drinking and that's what you are, a drinker, then unfortunately that's just the way it works. You can't become this person while you're thinking you are a different person. You've got to become, in your mind, first the person who you want to be. So really, if there was one thing that I would say and repeat again and again, it's this one of visualization. You have to do it in your head. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to see yourself doing it. And the more you can get that concrete, specific and tangible image in your head, the more you can feel it and you can hear yourself talking in those, in the new words of the non-drinker, of the person who's pushing forward, the easier it's going to be for you to quit. You'll never look backwards. I mean, I look at that video now, the first video, and I say to myself, there's no way in hell I'm ever going back there. So, if you have any questions at all about this video, then leave a comment down below, or definitely go over to the website. There's a newsletter over there you can subscribe to. Just leave your first name and email address. It's absolutely free. Until next time, my name's Kevin O'Hara for Alcohol Mastery. Onwards and upwards.